everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Live at 5. It is Monday, April the 25th, and it's been a very busy Monday, Beth,
Yes,
is it not?
it's very busy. We're in a new place. I don't know if you can tell we have sunlight today.
Yeah, we're in a room. We're in the boardroom.
And Arian Moayed, they do it right. From the Humans, the amazing The Humans is here to talk. But first we've got some news.
Went through the news. So just
Hello.
quickly, the Broadway.com Audience Choice Award nominations are now up. Well, not nominations.
You guys get to nominate the Broadway.com Audience Choice Awards. And right now, if you go to Broadway.com, you can check out the nominations.
But not yet. Wait, watch Periscope first.
Yeah, after you hang out with
Yeah.
us. Or while, if you've got two screens, you know.
Okay, we're getting
Anyway.
very technical.
Anyway.
Okay, so basically get yourself to the site and get voting once you've watched this. Big news today, Jennifer Hudson and Harvey Fierstein will be in Hairspray Live.
Yay.
Now, of course, Harvey Fierstein was
The
originally
original
Tony.
Edna Turnblad.
And he's reprising his role, as well as writing the book for the broadcast.
Amazing.
Amazing.
It's a
Amazing,
wonderful show.
Harvey.
It's such a good show. And Jay Hud's going to play Motormouth Mabel. Am I
Yeah.
saying that right? Motormouth Mabel? Anyway, it's going to be amazing. Because we know that woman can sing live.
Well, we both know they can do it live. So actually,
I'm not worried.
We're not worried about this
It's gonna be
broadcast.
amazing. I'm really
It's going
excited.
to be incredible.
What else is going on?
So, some other news today. Grey's Anatomy's Kate Walsh, Justin Long and more are set for the Williamstown Theatre Festival. Go to the site and have a look at that. It's because they're very...
Maybelle. Thank you, Jeffrey.
it's because they're very... Jeffrey, we love you, Jeffrey. It's because they're very
Private
short...
practices, Kate Walsh. Wouldn't that be more accurate?
Okay, it's very short...
Go on. They're going to Williamstown.
Because Williamstown has very short runs, you often get these huge stars or huge TV
it's just a
stars
little
who just
summer
go
in the
and do a
Berkshires, a
summer
little
thing.
hangout in the Berkshires.
But Justin Long basically does it every year. I think he wants to move there. She Loves Me cast recording. That's going to happen. That's no big surprise, really, with those
but it's
people.
great to
It
hear
is
that
great.
recorded. Amazing.
Broadway grosses. Now, this is very interesting. Cirque du Soleil have come to Broadway with a show called Paramore, which is currently in preview and currently only doing 6 shows a week. It grossed over $1 million on only 6 shows last
Well,
week.
it is the biggest house on Broadway, isn't
I
it?
know, but it's smelling like a hit. This early on,
what does
it's
it
doing
smell like?
incredibly well. So that led the grosses today. Odds and ends today was fun. The Estevans turned up on the Today Show and talked
Gloria
about magic.
and Emilio.
And talked about magic and tissues. They were talking about on your feet, but
Magic
just
tissues? What?
magic and tissues.
Oh, and.
separately.
You need to know.
But
that
basically, if you turn up on your feet and you start crying, the Estefans appear themselves in person and give you a tissue.
first. A hanky from Gloria. That's what
Yeah,
I
I
want.
know. It's a
That's
thing.
what I
It's a
want.
thing. Laura Michelle Kelly will join Christian Ball in a charity spelling bee. So
Are
that
they going
sounds
to have
like
to
fun.
actually spell or just sing songs? From
They're going
spelling?
to spell. They're going to actually spell.
How cool.
Bet they can't.
Hmm.
Actually, I bet they can. Actually, Christian Ball is a big reader.
Also, Waitress opened last night, you guys. So that's
Um,
awesome.
That's awesome.
Got some great pictures.
Got some great pictures of that.
And after this, I'm running over to Fully Committed to talk to Jesse Tyler Ferguson and friends. Yay!
Yay! I saw that show on Friday.
Did you have fun?
Lots of fun.
He does a lot of stuff.
40 characters he plays. It's unbelievable. And rounding up odds and ends today, Lin-Manuel Miranda rapped for Puerto Rico on the John Oliver show last night. So there we go.
I mean,
Get voting.
get voting
In a few minutes' time.
for the Bacas. Can we call it that?
Oh,
Arian, come to me,
Coming.
baby. Come to me, baby.
Coming. Look at how
You
fancy this
guys.
is. Hello.
This guy.
Hello.
This guy is super talented. Okay. I love The Humans so much. Have you guys seen The Humans?
Check
Raise your
us
hand if you
out.
said hi.
Hi.
The Humans is one of my favorite shows because it's funny and it's deep and it's scary.
It is actually scary. That is one thing that people aren't
Kind of
actually
a thriller.
ready for. They're just like, some people sometimes say like, it was really scary at the end. Was that what you were going for? I was like, it's a scary little apartment in Chinatown.
There's
yeah.
a lot of noise. I'm going to ask you just the questions I want to know. And
Yes,
you guys
please.
pipe in if you got questions for
Come on,
Arian,
bring it.
because- Come on. All right, here's my number one question for The Humans. You're in an apartment, kind of not a nice apartment. There's a lot of noise upstairs. What do you think is going on upstairs?
I think the noise is exactly what the noise they say. I think it's just I think it's thin walls. I think it's an old building. And I think it's, someone is obviously bowling up there.
And don't you feel that in New York apartments anyway, that someone's always bowling above you? Oh, where'd you get your cool hat? That's
Oh, that is a good question. Where did I get this cool hat? Street vendor on Bleecker in the West
They're
Village.
going to sell out now.
Go for it.
So I asked the set designer,
Yeah.
David Zinn, what he thought was going on upstairs.
What did he say?
He said aliens.
That it's either bowling or aliens. Those are the two. Basically the two
Or you
options.
could combine them and you could have aliens bowling.
Maybe.
What I also love about this show is that this is a family. You're an outsider to the family a little bit. You're the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So we relate to you as like figuring out this. You're like the one that the audience is like, yeah, that guy.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because sometimes I feel like I am gauging a lot of how I'm gonna chuckle or laugh at someone's like joke inside the family, all based on the audience. So if the audience is really laughing at it, like first of all, it's
very funny.
It's a very funny play, which happens often. So yeah, sometimes I gauge the audience in the same way. So it's kind of cool. The audiences are so amazing. What I've been saying often, we just had this amazing conversation with Frank Rich, who came and saw our show and twice, and he gave us this little special
That's a thumbs
like
up right there.
yeah, exactly. And we did this like special Monday night, like talk back with Frank Rich and the entire cast and Joe Mantello and Steven and all we talked about was the humans. And one of the things that I always say is that's amazing is the audience brings whatever baggage that they have onto this show. So
I brought a lot of baggage.
So if you got a ton of baggage, you're gonna love our play.
I obviously have.
But you will bring whatever. Whatever stories that you have, and you will put it onto us, whether it fits our narrative or not. So you have people coming in and being like, "Oh, I thought that this was this," and you're like, "Oh, cool, that's not in the script or not what we're doing."
You're totally
fantastic.
Wrong, but awesome.
But
someone asked, "What is it like to do a show on 2 floors?"
That's actually
set
really
is bi-level.
That's a very good question. Whoever asked that question, and it's I gotta say it's a little tricky because
steady.
Well, it's a little unsteady. It's also both floors. David's in slanted both floors because
you can put a marble on it
and it will definitely go. So if you're upstairs holding Momo's wheelchair, literally, if you just let it go, it will just go down.
Sounds cool.
But it is cool because you have to really you have to really pay attention because there are so many moments that are based on dialogue upstairs that we have to like come in on downstairs. So you just have to really be attuned with it. It really does take a tremendous amount of concentration, which is also another thing that's weird about this play as doing, other plays, is that you really have to just constantly zone out a little bit of what the audience is doing and just keep on going. Because if we wait for a laugh or something, it might hiccup like 3 beats after
and
it. It goes fast. Mm-hmm. It goes way faster than it looks.
Can we talk about some of your other stuff?
Please.
Okay. Here we go. Number 1, Kelly O'Hara. The Accidental Wolf, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That looks so terrifying. What is this?
So Accidental Wolf, Kelly and I did at the Public Theater, we did King Lear in 2012, is that right? And I played Edgar and she played Regan, and we became really close friends, mostly because our kids kind of were making out. This isn't live though.
Yeah, totally live. Wait. Let's rewind a second. So your kids and Kelly O'Hara's kids.
So Owen, this is
Charlotte.
Arlen and Charlotte. There was before Charlotte. Owen and Olive, one day, it was Halloween, and we all dressed up, and Bill Irwin, this was the cutest thing ever. Bill Irwin did Mr. Noodle.
Was a Tony winner.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Noodle came and showed up, and we were carving pumpkins, and all of a sudden, we're like, where is Owen and Olive? And then we go into Kelly's dressing room, and they're literally on bed, like wrestling. And I was like, okay, 3 years old. I blame Kelly's family.
It's totally
Kelly's
the
family.
Naughtons.
So basically, the Naughtons. Fantastic.
Kelly, I know you're watching Kelly.
I know, Kelly. It's okay. Well, I'm getting texts right now. So during that time, I've been dabbling a lot with like writing it for film and television. And in that time, I said.
By the way, this is a pilot that you did, and we actually did a watch it of it. So if you search in Broadway.com for The Accidental Wolf, you will see sort of the trailer. Yeah. And it looks like a scary phone call.
Yeah, so it's basically the story that I wrote for Kelly, and it's been really, really exciting because I wanted to write, I think she's one of the greatest actors on the stage, obviously, but she's honestly...
And she's going to be your in-law. So.
She's going to be her in-law, but she's also just so talented on screen, and so I wrote this thing for her, which is going to be like the first online thriller that's going to be independently made, and we're shooting the rest of the series, entire season 1. We're going to be shooting in August and September of this year, and I don't want to mention a lot of names, but there's a lot of theater names in it. I'll mention some.
Name drop. Go
I
ahead.
can, but I don't know if contracts are signed. But Kelly is in it. Mike Doyle is in it. And I'm gonna try to think of the people that are definitely doing it. Bill Sherman, who did
In the Heights.
In the Heights, he is doing the music for our show. Lots of theater people. I will say every single name that's on this list is recognizable, and numerous and numerous Tony nominees and winners.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know what your audition process was like.
For this one, Stephen Karam and I were roommates when we were 22.
Excuse me.
At the Utah Shakespeare.
Was your apartment kind of?
No, it was in Utah.
Oh, okay. So you had some space.
At the Utah Shakespearean Festival. That's a plug. At the Utah Shakespearean Festival, we were roommates. We were acting interns, and I literally held a spear in the background. So I was literally a cliche of my future. And Stephen was my roommate, and he and I became close. And at the time, I have my own theater company, Waterwell, and I was really interested in starting Waterwell, and he was interested in writing. And here we're both like acting interns, getting $100 a week to hold spears. He played Jupiter in Cymbeline, as you do. And at that summer, we actually did a reading of one of his earliest plays, and he and I became friends. And I
guess you were good roommates.
We were cool roommates. Yeah, we were really cool roommates. And we were just...
I guess you both took out the garbage.
We both took out the garbage. We both... He's going to kill me.
I love that.
We both dated... I dated this lovely, lovely human being.
Go on.
Her name was Carrie, and he dated Carrie's best friend, Jason. And so we all kind of hung out.
Oh my God, this is a lot of closeness.
This is a lot of stuff.
Closeness.
2 years ago or so... Karam called me and said, "Hey, I'm doing a reading of my new play."
So you didn't have to go in and audition?
I didn't have to audition for this one. No, I did a reading, and
someone says that's really deep. It's deep. These are deep roots.
Deep roots. Really, really, really deep roots.
I've seen you in a few other shows.
Tell me.
Well, I saw you in Guards at the Taj. That was a bloody, bloody play, people.
It really was.
Speaking of spear holders.
Yes. Literally.
And that was really disgusting. So thank you for that. It was
Totally.
It was like this really interesting kind of. It was at the Atlantic. I'm not saying this is the most popular show you've ever done in the world.
Yeah.
The second act, you're like, what just happened?
Yeah. Well, we start off as a comedy. Rajiv Joseph, so he's dark.
With Omar Wally.
Yeah, with Omar Wally, and the two of us started off in the beginning of this play as just like two guards guarding the Taj Mahal on the day that it's unveiled to the world. And it sounds like a fun little comedy until we find out we have to do this horrific act. And Act 2 starts with
Martin McDonagh.
Yeah, Martin McDonagh and Quentin Tarantino.
But in
India.
Like
that's it.
Yeah.
Martin McDonagh, Quentin Tarantino, India. What more do you want?
Rajiv, if you need to pitch that to Hollywood,
Here you are. You're welcome. We'll take 5.
Everyone's like,
just a quick 5% on that.
And speaking of Rajiv Joseph, who wrote Guards at the Taj, you also did Bengal Tiger.
I did.
At the Baghdad Zoo.
I did it, yeah.
With the late Robin Williams.
I did, yeah.
And you were Tony nominated.
That's true. All that is correct.
And Robin had all that hair.
He definitely did.
He combed it out.
He did. He didn't comb it out. He actually pushed it out.
He pushed it out.
Robin and I and the rest of that beautiful cast, we did our full run on at the Richard Rodgers, which is now home of Hamilton. And it was one of the greatest, experiences of my life, to be quite honest. The play was really important to me just because it was the first time I felt like an Iraqi character was.
Was that your Broadway debut?
It was my Broadway debut, yeah.
What a Broadway debut.
Yeah, and Robin and I we were both, our dressing rooms were right next to each other, and we got really, really close. So it was really a sad day.
He was very humble about the Broadway community.
Unbelievably humble.
He's such a giant, or he was such a giant, I should say.
Yeah.
And he just came in and just completely melded into the
Yeah, I remember in the first day of rehearsal, he said to us, we were all nervous. Robin Williams, here he is, 5 times.
And he might roar at you or something.
Exactly. And so
really a tiger.
He played a tiger, yeah, exactly. And then we were in the middle of all that, he was just like, hey man, I'm just trying to catch up to you guys. Because we had done the show twice before.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just trying to catch up to you guys. So any tips or hints that you have? And I'm like,
you're like, well, Oscar winner.
Yes.
Over here. Let me tell you.
Bring it over here. Do you have a chair? Do you have a chair? Do you have a notepad? Bring it over here. He was the funniest guy. He also On my 31st birthday, bought me an iPad.
Well, that's a generous gift.
Very generous, but it was the iPad 2 just came out, and no one could get it. So he literally made a call to, I'm pretty sure, Steve Jobs.
As you do.
And then the next day I had an iPad 2. He had some connections. Tiny bit. Yeah, and he was great. And, and we had a great time, and his death was unbelievably shocking and sad. And we were lucky enough, the entire cast was asked to come to the memorial. So we went out to San Francisco and saw him saw the memorial there, which was an unbelievable celebration of his huge body of work and on the immense amount of people that he had saved and helped.
He really.
It was really, really something special. I gotta say, I'll never forget when we were doing the show, oftentimes people would come up that did not look like they were theater goers, nor did they look like they just saw our play in a weird way. And then I'd be like, hey, and they'd be on stage and they're like...
It was a very risky play for him to do. It wasn't like a comedy and it wasn't an easy...
Well, he did the play because he was such a advocate of the USO. He was such a believer of our veterans. So he wanted to bring something back to them. And so
people come up to him and what would happen?
And so, this one time, there was numerous times people would come up like, why is this person backstage? And I'd go up and I'd be like, do you know anyone here? And he's like, oh, I'm friends with Robin. I came out from San Francisco. And a couple, 3 or 4 times, people would be like, yeah, Robin saved my life. He put me in rehab. And I'd be like, my God, this guy was just everything. He was really a special man. And that show was really special. I mean, Rajiv wrote something. I was gonna, if I were to win, but John Benjamin Hickey, who are friends now, but he's dead to me.
Hickey.
But one of the things that was amazing experience for that show was one night I did that show, and then Rajiv before the show was like, hey, a bunch of Iraqi refugees are here and they want to talk to you afterwards. Wow. And then we talked afterwards and there was tears in their eyes and mine, and he goes, and one of them says, thank you so much for telling our story, and it was really moving to me. And the next night it was during Fleet Week and I'm doing autographs at the end of the show, and these 2 guys that were just on, off duty came up to me and said, thank you so much for telling our story. So here you had an Iraqi refugee and an active American soldier both saying, that's the body, that's the brilliance of Rajiv.
Yeah, that was why it was a Pulitzer final.
That's right. That's right. Pulitzer final.
You guys, have you seen the Humans?
Come.
Have you not seen the Humans? Why haven't you seen the Humans,
Where have
people?
you been?
What are you up to? What are you doing? There are aliens upstairs.
There's aliens and bowling upstairs.
Or like Chinese people bowling, one or the other.
Either or. It's a regular schedule, Tuesday to Sunday, thehumansonbroadway.com. Check it out. We'd love to hear from you. And I mean this, if you stay afterwards, wait at the stage door, we'd love to hear from you and say hello.
Yeah, they'll listen.
Please come by.
They're so human at the Humans.
We're human beings at the Humans.
That's it. If you want to use that tagline, I'm totally okay with that.
Can we get on that?
Can we do that?
Can we just get on that right now?
Yeah, maybe get on the march.
Just email Scott Rubin. Thank you.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.